Right. The grind continues right onto the prospect league, and now we're gonna get things going over here. So let me grab my good old chat messages to get things going for the prospect league, as is the tradition. Got to copy pasta the same thing every draft. Got to keep it interesting. So let's get into the prospect league here. So you can see the board quickly. There is going to pop up. You guys can see all the teams, and hopefully you'll be able to see us in a second here when we pop up. But as we move along a little bit, we got some interesting things to start out for prospect here. As the Minotaurs have back-to-back picks here to start things off, which is very interesting to say the least.
Yeah, I don't like that particular word to describe the situation, but it is a situation that
It
I am
is.
unfortunately going to have to deal with. But I got a little bit of inside information on the Minotaurs.
Yeah. What is your inside information? Let's hear it.
So I know who number one overall draft pick is going to be. Do y'all know?
I do now because it's been posted. So surprise is not on
Oh
me.
man,
You
I'm
were quick.
slow.
You were quick.
I
You could
had
say it anyways. You could say it anyways. I think
I had a
you were talking
feeling
about it
though.
before. You were talking
Yeah,
about it before it happened.
it's definitely Snazzy. It's going to go to Snazzy. Congratulations to him, first overall prospect draft pick of season 7. I've heard a lot of good things about Snazzy, and I'm looking forward to meeting that man on the pitch.
Was season 5. I think he was the one that hit that crazy shot that everyone was hyping about in that Discord call. If I recall correctly,
Oh,
Barbarians. And he's going back to the same org. It's the same team, but renamed to
nice.
Minotaurs. That's a great storyline right there. Same
See,
team, different name. Where you hit that Game 7 winner in overtime to send the
True.
Barbarians on to semifinals, I believe.
True.
So wow, that's crazy right there.
I'm
So do
not
y'all
sure how
know?
I'm liking that though.
Do y'all know the number 2 pick? Because I know the number 2 pick.
I have no idea. No idea what the number 2 pick is going to be.
What
I'll
about
be
you,
honest,
Crispy?
I'm not sure. I'm not
You
sure
don't
about
know?
prospect.
I
I didn't pick
Well,
enough to be prospect.
I don't want to say it. Like I don't. Should I
Okay.
say it? He hasn't. He
I
hasn't. Is that
I
take
mean,
away
why
from
not?
the dramatics?
It
I
might,
don't know
because
if
what if he changed
well,
his
well,
mind last
well
minute?
but
True.
if you're wrong, or if you're wrong, I think then it's like that's like
Everybody
Well,
gets to
then I
mutual.
can
laugh at me.
clown you.
Everyone gets to laugh at you too.
Everybody gets to laugh at me.
Or
Yeah.
maybe there's some, I mean, I think it's a suspense. Like maybe you thought you knew, but Rogue pulled the switcheroony on you, and I think
Yeah.
it's
What if he really did do that? What if he did? I don't know anything anymore.
Hey, I think we got to use as much inside information as we have, Psycho. I think we got to use that. So I think you should go for it.
Okay. Well, I'll say this: there was a leak, and it's his AGM. I don't has his AGM been named yet? I'm pretty sure if you look in player info update, his AGM was named.
I think he's former AGM. As yeah, the pick is in. I know who you're talking about. He's talking about Wheels, who actually is the selection. So Psycho was right there. Snazzy going first overall. Wheels going second overall to the Minotaurs. And both of them making their way. So yeah, he was named as AGM, and then he went playing. And now Rogue is going to get to play with Wheels and Snazzy on his team there. So pretty solid team there. Snazzy 1468, Wheels at 1334.
Yeah, and Wheels and Rogue know each other.
Yeah.
IRL. They play this game together a lot. So that team already has popping chemistry. Rogue being a absolute monster when it comes to the aggressive plays. He's gonna make me so good at dodging demos that I'm gonna go into Challenger just off of dodging demos.
Gotta watch out for those demos. As I may know, I'm actually not to flex on everyone, the demo leader all time in Nemesis.
True.
So I do know a little bit about the demo game. That's how you score some goals there, Psycho. That's how you tilt some opponents.
That's
Get some
true.
get some demos on them. That's for sure. As another exciting pick here for number 3 overall, King Muff is going to the Wyvern. It is crazy to see King Muff in prospect with these boundary changes.
I don't like it. I don't like it. It's scary, just like that Minotaurs roster scares me. This Wyverns roster, it kind of scares me. And um, King Moth, I didn't play with him, but I was in the same org as him in season 5, over in Chess Hall. And seeing him in prospect scares me. Seeing him that he's going to the Wyverns is also kind of scary, as I messaged him, see if he wanted to do a private tryout for us, and he let me know. Sorry, man, I got a team that wants to draft me, and by the sounds of it, they were pretty high up in the draft order, and number 3 here it is. So,
Pretty
but to
high up
go,
there.
yeah, to go with C Money and Davi, that's that's pretty good. And Kronk's there, sitting at their sub spot, so to speak. Who's as a known Nemesis member at the last couple of seasons. I think that's a pretty well rounded roster.
Pretty solid. I love our boy King Muff here. Like I said, he's one of the top gifters on the Nemesis channel. So always helping out the league, and it's good to see him back. And like I said, it's crazy to see him in a prospect. But that Wyverns team, they've had a couple struggles here, but with Davi there, like you mentioned, King Muff, C Money, and Kronks there, all pretty solid, well-known players. So we'll see what kind of chemistry they're going to have here. As the next pick is in, Hypernova is going to select Zabungi, who's coming back there. Zabungi to Hypernova, which is exciting.
Super excited. Bungie is back, ladies and gentlemen. Former GM of the Bungie tribe, champion. I'm not sure what season. I think season 3 or
Four.
season 4. Season 4. Zabungi is the man, and if you don't like him, you better learn because he's super nice.
Oh,
He is super
nice.
I love Zabungi.
Bungi's
And
the best.
I'm pretty sure Zimbungi was supposed to be re-signed, but there was a little confusion that happened there, if I'm not mistaken, where things got lost in translation or something. So it was great to see that Critter gets to bring Zabungi back home where he was supposed to be originally.
That's exciting. Good to see Zabunki back in the league and going off the board. So a lot of well-known people here going off the board in the first 4 picks. You got Snazzy, Wheels, King Muff, and Zabungi, and that puts the Warhawks on the clock here. Coming with North here and trying to see what they're gonna do. Only North on the roster at the moment, or it looks like he's North with an F now.
Yeah,
But
and he's typing in Twitch chat.
he's typing in Twitch chat. He says, he's a little bit confused here. He's got maybe his picks got sniped too, like Yuri's speed. Like he had 4, maybe he had 4 people on
I
his
hope so,
list.
because
And
they sniped one of my picks, so I hope that
Ooh.
happened. I hope that happened.
Some revenge a little bit.
So yeah, a little revenge. It's sad it couldn't have been me to snipe it, but
Hey, could work. Could work. They've got a couple of minutes here. Looks like about a minute 30 left still on the clock there to make their selection. And they are going to go select another well-known Nemesis player, as known as Ice Griff, making his return here. And now to the Warhawks. Formerly on Frost, I believe, season 5 champion on Frost there. So he's back. He didn't get re-signed, but he's back in the draft at number 5 overall. That's pretty solid selection there for him.
that is a solid selection, and I think those two will definitely pair up pretty well together. Great start to his team. I know North wanted to definitely try to rebuild that Warhawks roster, and try to have a little redemption after their season last season didn't go too well for them. So that's a great start right there to start off.
Yeah, definitely. So gonna pick up Ice Griff there at number 5. So congrats to Ice Griff. And that'll put the Blackhawks on the clock. So again, another team that got rebranded, formerly the Jaguars, and now going to be the Blackhawks. And I like a little bit of the rebrand here. A little bit. I know we talked about it a little bit before. There, Psycho. I'm curious what you think about the rebrand here to the Blackhawks. There, this atrium with these kind of birds ideas. They got some pretty cool logos, I'd say.
Yeah, I like the. I was a little bit skeptical at first when it just was revealed that there was called the atrium. I was like, okay, what angle are we going here? But going the bird angle, especially the birds of prey, the hawks and such like that. I think it's a really good rebrand. Blackhawks already had Sage, absolute gangster in Nemesis, longtime friend, and player here in Nemesis, solid prospect player. And it looks like they just made a solid pick for their draft.
Yeah, they did. They're going to go ahead and select Sanitario there, which a great person there. He's been helping out on the Nemesis staff teams quite a bit, and he's going to go to the Blackhawks, which is a very very solid pickup there. Also, another person who made a run last season with Frost, moving up to prospect now. was in the grand finals and now out in prospect to see what he can do for the Blackhawks.
Very reliable teammate and good person to talk to.
Definitely good to hear there. Yeah, he's a great person from what I've known, Senatario. So good to see him go there, top 6. And now again, I think we're kind of keeping the trend going. I'm actually kind of surprised here that we're not seeing some other people off the board. I think a lot of the gyms are sticking with the known commodities as Daduki, otherwise known now as Dukes, is off the board to Flurry there for Dan. So the names, the recognizable names, continue to go off the board in the first round.
Yeah, no names. Kind of surprising. There are a couple new names on the top of this list as well. So it's definitely interesting to see how much names and being in the league previously, and for sure knowing how you play in a league can really just propel you so much higher in getting either retained or picked up first in a draft where you know maybe you didn't have a great tryout, but they know how you're going to play in that tough series that you may have because they've seen you do it before. So that's definitely always a good edge to have.
And as we say that, as I talk about the players that are well known and continuing to go off the board here, we got Schiefer God, who's a new player here. He was just up there. The mods are quick there. I didn't even get to see him go. He disappeared off the board before I could say anything. But he's off the board. I think he was pretty high up there.
1454.
1454. All right, thank you. There, go into the Melons with who do the Melons have right there? Just Midnight on the roster right now. So Chief God and Midnight there going off the board. So first new player going off the board. Congrats to Chief God going in the top half of the first round.
Yes, indeed, and I'm interested to see how he performs here in the Nemesis League. He's, as you said, new, but he seems really active in the chat. He's in the Discord chat. He's talking a lot, talking to people. He seems to have a pretty good attitude so far, so good on that front. Going to the Melons with Midnight. Midnight's a solid player. I would anybody should want to play with Midnight because he's been with us for a long time. He's an all around good player. Hoping to see some good chemistry out of that team.
Yeah, definitely. And like you said, Midnight AGM for the Melons there. Good to see him back in the league and working hard behind the scenes for Squirrel, who's running the stream tonight. So shout out Squirrel, putting in some time and effort to get this stream looking good for you guys and making sure everything looks great there. So and their pick is in, and now the Banshees are coming in and selecting Grand Plat coming off the board here for the Banshees there, which is I like that name, Grand Plat there, Crispy.
Yeah. Why'd you have to single me out like that? No,
I was calling you
is a
Grand
good
Plat.
name.
I was
No, it is
Saying.
indeed a good name, good meme name, but also just a great name in general. As the picture that they use for their profile picture as well.
It is a nice picture there. I know you guys can't see it, but it's imagine combining Grand Champion and Platinum. That's what his picture looks like. It's great. Check it
Can't
out
go
in the
wrong with
Discord if
that.
you haven't. True, you can't go wrong with that. As it looks like the Vipers are on the clock. Graf has mistakenly typed the Vikings. I know we're doing a lot of novice drafting, but we'll allow it there. We'll allow it there. He's already put on the clock and made his selection there. He's going to the top of the board, selecting Josh, otherwise known as God Gamer, who's going to the Vipers there at number 10.
That's a solid pick. Sad he couldn't have fallen 2 more spots.
Real sad.
Real sad he couldn't have fallen 2 more spots. We were hoping, Josh getting his games in late, that he was going to be able to fall down to us at the Gladiators at number 12. That was going to be our top option. But, Grav does know a good player when he sees one, and that's definitely a great pickup to start his Vipers roster. So congrats to Josh and Grav. A little salty.
Little salty, That's okay. I'm talking to Grav. I said, "Hey, man, why would you do this to me?" He said, "I didn't know. You didn't tell me. You didn't tell me. You should have told me." And he's right. Grav's one of my buddies. I should have let him know. But hey, that was a great pick for him. And now, I'm gonna just panic a little bit.
struggles.
Oh, the panic is set in, and no panic here for Hypernova as they right away got put on the clock and they chose I Fear the Beard. It's going to be their third player on their roster, and that still leaves them with a good 1394. And Critters of Bungie and I Fear the Beard, that's looking like a really solid lineup already. Um, all well-known players and names, so they're looking like a solid roster right now as well.
Indeed.
I'll be just making sure that everything is going good here. Had a couple of things going on behind the scenes, but yeah, I Fear the Beard coming off there. Another great name. I will add to that, and I presume he has a great beard as well. You have to if your name is Fear the Beard, so you must have to have a good name there.
That's
If you're a
true.
good
That's
beard.
true. That's
Can't
true.
really-
I
Beards
hope he
unite.
does. I hope he does.
And if not, he better start growing one.
True. That is true.
True,
I wish my beard grew a little bit better. It doesn't like to grow. It grows fast, but it doesn't grow well. It's a little patchy in some spots. It's kind of sad. I would love to have like a full beard. I don't know how good I would look with a full beard, but at least a possibility. Leaves a lot of things open, Psycho. And Speed. I mean, both of you guys got some solid beards.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
I've been trimming mine up, not letting it grow out too wild like it was, when we had
Oh,
the big
Jerry
big
Springer.
battle. But
Yeah.
That you lost. That you lost. That you
Ooh.
lost.
that I also threw for content
Oh.
to allow
True,
you to come
but
back.
true. You probably could have swept me, but you made a vital mistake.
I did. But vital mistake not made here with our draft pick, Psycho. I'll let you take this one.
Wait, what do you mean? I gotta make it? Oh shoot.
Well, I typed it up for you. You just gotta announce it.
Oh yeah, perfect. And we're going actually I feel kind of like with a little bit of a sleeper pick here. Somebody that we tried out behind Josh. Like Josh was our main guy. Josh was the dude we were looking at the most. But this guy Ultra is new to the league. And I think he's going to be a solid pick. He's a solid player. He's new to leagues, so he's going to have a little bit to learn, but he's got some really good mental, and I'm looking forward to playing with him.
Nice.
Yeah,
And he's excited in the chat too.
He is excited in the chat.
Let's go.
I hope he's very thankful. The other night, it was about midnight. I got on. I started playing some solo Q2s. Third game in, I run into him and we party up. And I think we played till about 2:00 in the morning. No comms, same party. And then I hit him up. Hey, you ever thought about joining a league? And joined it, signed up, got added to the draft. And it just worked out. So I'm glad to see that we were actually able to pick him up. So it's always exciting.
There you go. Well, congratulations to Ultra there, and also congratulations to 5/3 Stupid. I kind of like that name there, 5/3 Stupid. Feel kind of bad, but I mean, he named himself, so I mean, he's talking about himself, so we like a little humor like that there. So congratulations to him. He's going to the Melons here at pick number 13. So congratulations to him putting the Warhawks on the clock now.
And I think I know who's going here for North and the Warhawks. There's been some talks about it. A little reunion from season 5, novice year, and Big C, I believe, is going to be going back home to play with his boy North.
There he is. He is going off the board there. So congratulations to Big C Dubs, another great name. I love that name there. And it's actually going to put Origin on the clock, and I've got a little bit of thinking to do here, as my preparation. It only went so far in Prospect. I was going to take what the board gave me here, so I got a little bit of decision making to make in my next 3 minutes here. So.
Well, you've got a lot of really good options here, Rocker Man. I'm sure I don't have to tell you, but I just want to point out Parallax. How long has Parallax been an Origin OG?
He was on Origin, then he went over to Faded, and then he came back to Origin last season.
Oh, okay,
And
okay.
helped for the run to the grand finals there last season.
Yeah, that was a really good run, really strong season and playoff run for Origin. But man, you got a lot of good people here. I don't know how your tryouts went, but I can tell you for a fact, Lore, FO6, Jimmy, Texas, 4X, those are both solid picks. Dr. Waffles, great name. Never seen him play, but great name.
Can't go wrong with waffles.
Sure, do love me some waffles. I agree.
Especially the Danish variety.
What's the difference here? You might have to explain.
Oh,
Here.
what? All right.
I don't know if I know the
Yeah,
difference
me too.
here.
I'm hoping I'm not messing this up, or maybe it's the Swedish waffle. I'm probably messing it up, but one of those, the waffle, it's like super big. It's like a double waffle or a triple waffle. Even usually get them with um, puree sauce on them and some little fruits and stuff. It's like the opposite of a crepe.
Oh, okay. That sounds pretty good. That does sound pretty good, I will say. Ooh, also, my pick is in. I'm going. I've heard some inside information about this fellow that I selected. He's actually grinding Rocket League right now. He may not even be watching the draft because he's on the grind so much there. But I'm selecting Scanty onto Origin here. I heard some good things about him, and I'm excited to see. I'm excited to see what he can do. I have some eyes. Some other people will see if they fall to me a little bit lower. But yeah, Scanty there coming to Origin. Couple time novice champion in Origin, so we'll see what he can do.
That indeed, and another known player selected here by Velocity, as Velocity is gonna go ahead and choose Alpha. Alpha is gonna be the first player on that Velocity roster. You know, he's been in Prospect the last couple of seasons and done very well in Prospect the last couple of seasons. So that's a great pickup for them. Not too happy about it, as that brings him into my division, but our division, was by far the toughest division last year in Prospect, I feel, and it's looking that way so far again this season with that Wyverns roster. Velocity now picking up Alpha, Faded still having Exter and Vicious Oreo on there. I think that this division is again going to be a scary division.
All right, well, that is going to wrap up round number one there. Congratulations to everyone selected off the board in round one, and take a look. And congratulations, we're going to move on to round number two now, where we get Ember starting things off. They're already quickly making Squirrel's job a little bit difficult, but they're already selecting there, as they have selected Jimmy Texas, or apparently in the Discord known as Jimmy Bigger Ego. So,
Which I'm a little bit skeptical about that, because he's been talking a lot, but he doesn't seem to have that big an ego, to me at least. Maybe it's just one of those things that's got to ramp up. Maybe he's got to fill out the crowd, and then he wins his first game and he just poops all over everybody and egos everybody. I don't know, but he doesn't seem to have a big ego so far. He seems pretty humble, and we played with him, and he's definitely a solid player.
Yeah, as he says in chat, steal of the draft.
Oh, he's claimed himself as the steal of the draft.
Okay, yeah, I guess he's got an ego. Shoot.
That is a little bit of an ego, I'd say. But hey, I respect that. I respect that. If no one's gonna hype yourself up, you gotta hype yourself up. So I respect that. Understandable there. Congratulations to him, and congratulations to Puggles, who's gonna go off the board here with the second pick or the next pick in this round here. We're actually skipping 18, so he's actually going to the Vipers there. So Wyverns are actually full now. So he'll be moving down to the Vipers there. Puggle's kind of going back home a little bit there.
Not just a little bit. He was literally released from Victory Oregon to the draft.
No, and they're just bringing him back. Is that what?
Literally just bringing him back, just using a draft pick on him.
Bubbly is devastated. Said no, one pick away. No.
Oh, I know your feelings, Buffles. I know your feelings, Buffles. Bubbly.
feel like that sometimes. It really do. As Puggle's going to the Vipers. It's gonna put the Bandits on the clock, and they are selecting Dr. Waffles, who's making a return to Nemesis there. I know Sands and his sloths there. Making some moves to get Dr. Waffles back on the roster.
That he is, and he said, "Had me sweating because we were talking about waffles." So Psycho, always putting the
Oh,
fear inside of him. You
there you
know,
go. Oh, he was just waiting for us to bring it up. There's like a draftee named Dr. Waffles. Ooh,
There it
so
is.
but he didn't quite make that connection, but
Oh,
but,
and I was
yeah,
told, sorry to break in, but I was
yeah.
it's the Belgian waffle. It's not the
Okay.
Danish, not the
I
Swedish. It's
I
the Belgian waffle.
okay. I do know. I do recognize that now. Now you're making sense here. Now
Now
you're
it
making
making
sense.
sense.
Now he's making sense here. So we get it. We get it. But well, next couple picks they're going. These GMs are going in rapid succession here as the rook's on the clock, and they're going to select Ken the Silencer, otherwise known as now Kenji SK. So he's going to the Rooks there. Another good pickup. He was one of the people I was looking out for there, and he is going to go to the Rooks.
And what can you tell us there, old speed demon, about the Rooks? That your victory org, if you will, trying to give me a hard time.
yeah, I got a soft spot for Bubbly and the chess hall over there. But with the new rule made allowing one trade in the off season, we did send one of the gladiators over to the Rooks. Over there to Bubbly. So they're looking pretty good with Nixoy, Flux, and Kenji. And they still have room for 1478. So they're still looking pretty good to be able to, at this point, pick up anyone left on the draftee board still. I don't know where their next pick falls, but their roster's really looking pretty good. And I know Kenji, Flux, and Nixoy are all really solid players. So they're looking pretty solid already. And I'm happy for them. Flux is one of my homeboys I brought into Nemesis, and I just have a soft spot for that org in general. So it's always nice to see.
There we go. And next pick is off the clock as well. Vipers are going to select Adala, so getting another pick going there for them. Going with Adala to go out of their roster with Puggles, who they just selected, and Josh, who they selected earlier. So 1375, and that's looking like an interesting roster there for the Vipers.
Yeah, I agree. Ardala coming from Warhawks, I believe, released not too long ago back into the draft. So it's good to see him to get picked up immediately, put onto the Vipers. That's my team right there. Season 2 runner-ups with Vipers. So Josh, Puggles, Adala. I think that's going to be a good lineup. To be honest with you, I think it's going to be a solid team.
I'm gonna agree with you there, Psycho. That is looking a little bit scary. As a fellow GM, good news is they are not in our conference, so I am happy about that. Not in our division to worry about. So good news there. But definitely a scary team to watch out for. I believe that's the Mountain Division down there at the bottom, if I recall correctly. Um, so yeah, and it looks like Ember is on the clock here, is waiting to see their pick, and their pick is in. They're going to select Reaper there, who's actually been in the league on and off a couple times, also known as Hunter Brown, if people know him by that name. But Reaper going to Ember, pick up for them.
Reaper is a good choice there as well. I don't quite remember. Oh yeah, I do remember Hunter Brown now. So I was trying to think back, but no, that's definitely a solid pick. And that's gonna fill out their roster as well with Jimmy. No, it's not Jimmy Reaper and Steven. Um, so they're looking pretty good themselves. And I don't know if you guys have anything else to go with that.
I don't know too much else myself.
Yeah, no, I'm just interested to see who the Minotaurs pick up. I know that some of that insider information I had, the Minotaurs were supposed to be picking up Adala, but
Yep.
Vipers sniped that
So
out from him.
that inside information I knew as well, Psycho.
But looks like he's going with a solid pick, though. He's picking up Jatron RL, and that was actually somebody that we were looking at for the Gladiators. It was going to kind of be a sleeper pick if we had to go down to it. We had a tryout with him, and he's a 1308, but he's solid. He's definitely solid. He's got the mental for it. I could tell that he's gonna go far in this league. I expect him to climb through prospect easily this season.
That he does. That I believe he will as well. And I probably shouldn't have done this, but Rogue and I, we're good friends, and we had talked about, a little bit about who we were looking at for draftees, and I knew Adala was choice for him. And as soon as he got sniped, I got a DM from Rogue, and Rogue goes, "Man, dude, like he just got sniped." And I said, "I know, but trust." I saw his MMR left, and I said, "Jatron." So I put the little birdie back in his ear to go with Jatron. Like I said, we were really looking at him to pick him up if things didn't fall the way we were quite looking for as a sleeper pick. So that roster really honestly does scare me now, that Minotaurs roster. And, that division and the whole league itself is going to have to look out for them.
Definitely so. And now Rilo is actually the next one off the board of the Banshees, and I was looking at Rilo, so now I am reconsidering my life choices as I'm trying to figure out who to possibly select here. But Rilo, another great pick. They're 1375, I believe, going over to the Banshees. So nice selection for them.
Yeah, 1375. Also, the on the Spitfires winning team for novice in the season 6. And personally, I want to give a shout out to Rilo because without him, I don't think I would have been able to grind into prospect. Me and him hit twos pretty hard in the off season, and we made a lot of headway. And like I said, I don't think I would have been able to make it up to prospect without Rilo. So big shout out to him. Congratulations on the draft.
3, and I was trying to figure out this next draft pick, but it's actually Peanut with a 3, so I'm typing in PEA and I couldn't find this guy. But the Melons have gone and selected Peanut there with a 3, so I see it now. Just trying to look on the board a little bit there, but Peanut is going off the board to the Melons. Congratulations to him. Don't know too much about him, but a very interesting name through a number in the middle. So on the naming scale, it drops down a little bit for me. There's a you got to have the naming scale. Numbers, when you get numbers in your name, that's your name starts going down from S tier down to maybe C tier even. So just throwing that out there for all you naming connoisseurs, I guess. It's important to have a good name, I'd say.
Yeah, names are always important, but I personally, biggest thing for me is just personality and whatnot. Want to have good personalities on your team, so maybe your season's not going the greatest, but at least if you're all positive, great minded people, then you can try to make the best out of any situation that arises.
That's true. More what I was saying is a joke. No offense to Peanut there, the 3, but definitely good to be active there. Mr. Moose now going off the clock to the Blackhawks, and we get some interesting action going here. We got Blackhawks and Warhawks back to back, and the Warhawks pick is in, and they are going to select Marco, who I believe somewhere towards the top. I don't know where he went, but somewhere close to the top. And he's going to the Warhawks there.
Yeah, Marco coming in at 1377. So that gives Warhawks only 11 cap room to work with, or not work with, but remaining cap room. So that's a pretty good fill out. I haven't seen Marco play personally. I don't recognize his name either, so my apologies, Marco, if you've been here and you've just kind of flown underneath my radar. But hey, anybody that goes on a team with North and Big C Dubs, I don't know why I totally missed that. They got Big C Dubs too, man. I'm super excited for Warhawks right now. That's awesome because North and Big C Dubs are returning or coming back together. They were playing together in the Novice League in season 5, and they had a really good season, but not a great playoff run. Big C Dubs had to couldn't be there for it, but I'm happy to see them back together. That's exciting.
Congratulations there. And next couple of picks are into NRG Rex. We talked about Marco going to the Warhawks, and NRG Rex going to Faded. And that puts Origin on the clock, and I have to do a little bit of thinking at this current point in time.
Well, don't hurt yourself.
I'll try not to.
Let's take a look here. So you're working with Scanty and Parallax currently on your roster. You still got 2,800 cap remaining, so you can go and easily get, two 1,400s.
You get any combination on this board, excluding DeRuster, I think. Actually, even
Okay.
including DeRuster. I think I get any
Yeah.
combination on the board still. So
All right,
you got
so
a
we
little
can
bit
go.
to
We can
consider.
go anyone here, and there's a lot of great names on the board still. DeRooster himself, General Twee looked pretty good over there in the combines lore. Returning Nemesis member, Pirate Rage, Bot Duncan, Kato. There's a lot of great names still left on this board, so I'm interested to see on what you and Parallax and Scanty want to go with.
Yeah, and I play for Slays as well. I know Rockerman, you and him have a little bit of a history in drop shot, so y'all are a little bit on the buddy side.
With some grinders and drop shot. Unfortunately, I'm not selecting Slays on this
That's a
one.
rip.
That's a rip. As much as I love my boy Slays there. Good to have him back in the league. We're going a little bit. This is actually a person C1 he selected last season, solely based off of his name. And I do love the name. We got Pirate Rage 23. Saw him at the combine. Looked like a great player there. So I'm hoping he can bring some good things to Origin as, one of the historically best teams in Prospect there. Hopefully he can do some good things for us there. So I'm happy to bring him on and see if we can get some dubs with Scanty, Parallax, and whoever I decided to pick up as our fourth.
And that is a pretty good roster. I know I played Pirate Rage last season as he was in my division. So I think he's a good pickup. And like you said, he did play pretty well during that combine. And now I'm curious to see what Bandits are going to do here to fill out their roster with having 1344 remaining. And they still got, again, a lot of great names left on that board. So I'm interested to see what Frosty and them want to do over there for the Bandits.
Definitely so. And this is going to be the last pick of the second round. And then from there, we actually don't have too many picks remaining in this draft. So we're kind of getting down to the end. There's actually only 2 picks in the final round. So it looks like there is 18. Wait, actually, this might even be wrong. That doesn't seem right. It looks like there's 15 more picks remaining in this draft total. So we're kind of getting down to it. It goes kind of quick. Reminder that, we're skipping over some teams because they have full rosters where they cannot select any more people. So we'll get to the bottom very quickly here and get to those final rounds. So only about 15 more spots. There's still quite a few draftees on the board that teams have to select through. And the Bandits, they're doing some thinking here to see who they can get here. It looks like they have Redwater, Dr. Waffles, and Frosty, and they have 1344 remaining.
So pretty much Bot, Duncan, and down. Bot,
Yeah.
and just a couple of the names that I recognized have already kind of been shouted out. Bot, Duncan himself, Kato, Eternal. I play for Slays. Yukio, is that the same Yukio or is that a different
It is
Yukio?
the same
That
Yukio.
is.
There we go. Okay, so Yukio, he's been with us for a while. He's a solid pick. And even a Freckly Genja moving up from the novice league, he played well, I guess with the Sloth. So I'm not sure that they would pick him again. But he was a solid player for them. He did really well on the Vandals.
And it looks like the pick is in here for everyone. The Bandits are going to go ahead and select Eternal with their final pick overall and the final pick of the second round. So Eternal is going to the Bandits there. Congratulations to him. And that is going to wrap up round number 2. 2 more rounds to go, but not many picks here. His rosters are starting to get filled out a little bit here. So we'll see how things go. Still a lot of people on the board here, Crispy, for round number 3 to possibly select.
There are quite a few people left, and hopefully we can fill up all the teams and hopefully not have anybody left out.
You can get them as full as possible. Unfortunately, there have to be some people that are going to be free agents, but like we said, we're going to try to make sure we get those free agents involved for sure. But yeah, so here we go on to prospect round 3. We're going to be starting off with the Blackhawks at pick number 34. So they're the first ones on the clock here. It's the Warhawks roster, I believe, should be full. It is full. So Blackhawks at 34 here. Got a little bit of room to work with.
They do. They got what 1377 left, so it looks like they can get anyone from Okatani and below. And this puts them in a great spot here. There's still a lot of great names left on the board. He made a great choice. He hit me up today to make this trade to be able to bump himself up into this spot to get this draft pick where he's at right now. I don't know where his later pick was, but with all the great names still left on the board, this definitely put him in a great spot to be able to fill out his roster here.
Definitely so. Love to see it. As it looks like the pick is in. Sorry, Seiko, go ahead.
No, I was just about to say that the pick actually is in, and they go with. I wish I hadn't opened my mouth because I never can say this guy's name. But he was in the combines, and I went with Mitz, but I think it's actually Mitzo. But I see it now. Mitzo is moist. Mitzo is moist. That's very strange, but he did pretty good in the combines if I remember, and he seems pretty active in the Discord. So I'm excited for him. I'm excited he got drafted, and I hope that he's not moist.
Oh, that does make sense now. I didn't understand that it was moist there on the back end. It says TSIOM, which is moist backwards. So there you go. Mitso is moist, or I would say mitsosis or mitsois.
Yeah, or Siam.
Siam, yeah, something like that. But I like mitso better. I think that's a little bit of flow there for everyone. So respect. As it looks like the Vipers are going to be on the clock, and it looks like they're looks like they're already into their selection there, which is going to be I play for Slays going to the Vipers.
Doesn't surprise me. I know Josh and Sleaze are good friends, and they wanted to play together. If possible, it wasn't a has to be type deal, but worked out in the end for him. It's sad that again Josh got sniped out from us. But it's nice to see that Josh and Slays getting to play together. And having Puggles and Adala as their other two is looking like a really scary lineup as well, because I know Slays and Josh play together all the time, and they already have a lot of chemistry. So if those other two can fit in with them, that's a great lineup.
Not only that, but they've already won a championship together. Season 3, they won a novice championship on acceleration. So they have the history. They have the ability to take it as far as it needs to go.
Yeah, definitely. So I think actually that might be season 4 for
Oh,
them.
is this? Okay, season 4.
But I think Slays does have the championship from season 3 as well. I think Slays is the one that came over. I think Josh was the new one in season 4.
That's right. Yeah, that's right. Because acceleration went back to back.
Yeah, they went back to back. So Slays and Josh meeting up again, this time in prospect, not novice. So we'll see what their moves are going to be as their rooks are on the clock. And I'm going to say I am sweating a little bit, not just in here because I had to turn my fans off because they're too loud, but also because I have an idea of who I want to pick here, and I am hoping they don't get sniped. I'm praying to the Nemesis gods that my player does not get sniped here. So I'm not going to say who it is, obviously.
Just ask Bubbly nicely. Just ask him.
Well, I still have a couple picks to go. We got Bubbly, we got Matt, we got Jarhead, Critter, KN, and then Jarhead again before it's my pick. So it's a little bit risky.
Wow.
Let you skip.
We'll pray. We'll get some prayers up here. As the Rooks are now on the clock here with their pick. They are coming in at number 37. Just a reminder for everyone, we're skipping some teams that are full. either have 4 people on the roster already, which is the maximum amount of players, or they can physically not select any more people in this draft. So, and the pick is in. We were talking about this guy. It is Yukio making his return, and he is coming to the Rooks there. Good selection at 13-19.
That is a great choice. I played with Yu-Gi-Oh quite a few times. Just playing together. I played with him in another league as well. So I definitely think that's a great fit for them, especially knowing who's already on that roster with them. I think he'll fit in just perfect with that.
Great guy. Great guy.
Did you have some experience playing with him, or just kind of seen him around the Discord there, Crispy?
Uh, we played a little bit before. It was I can't remember when exactly, but we have played before. I always call him Coach. In my server app, titled him as Coach. So yeah, he's fun to talk to and pretty fun to play with too.
That's good to hear. Yeah, he's been around in Nemesis for quite a bit, so he is coming back here to the Rooks this time. So congratulations to him. And that is going to put Ember on the clock here. Ember looking with 13.99 remaining. Still have a couple people on the board at the top, I will say. Got DeRuster up there at 1464, the Shrix at 1452, Cracked 1440, Larefo 1440, Alex at 1432. So there's a couple people up there pretty high, and then the rest of the board up for grabs really for Ember, who are going to go ahead and select Crazy Meegs as their selection here for their final selection.
And Speed, do you know anything about Crazy Migs? This is the first time I've seen his name, and you being a returning prospect player, you recognizing him from last season?
I'm not recognizing that name at all. I don't know if it's a name change or if this is a new player. But I don't know anything about Crazy Meegs. So I think this might be a wild card pick. Not too sure I know too much. I didn't really host any tryouts, so I don't know if Rockerman, if you know anything about Crazy Meegs, because I know you guys hosted some tryouts.
We hosted tryouts for novice, not for prospects. So I'm flying under the radar, but I think I've seen him around a little bit. I don't know if you've seen him too much though, but it's always good to see some, like I said, always good to see some new players. So I do think the good point, a wild card pick, flying under the radar. So we'll see what Crazy Meeks there filling out the roster there. See what he can do here as Banshees are on the clock and they have selected Dre with their pick. Dray coming in at 13-17, so going a little bit lower there, making sure they get the low MMR player, and then going to come back for the higher MMR player, I assume, after this.
And I gotta wonder if they maybe did some tryouts and saw Dre, because it's looking like another new name come through. Not Doesn't have a reputation yet, so hey, 13-17 to the Banshees with Rilo. That's a good place to get placed, to be honest with you. I don't know Grand Plat either, but I know Rilo is super solid player and very adaptive. So that roster could turn out to be just as scary as some of these others.
Yeah, that is very scary indeed. Always like to see Rilo. They're pretty active in the Discord, and yeah, that's a division rival for us. So I'm looking at some of these division rivals and seeing what they have. Most of them are filled in. But speaking of division rivals, Hypernova's on the clock again for their final pick. They are another division rival for my team, Origin, in the Central Division. So they've got one more pick to work out at 1394. So they've got some room here to go down the list.
Let's see, 1394. Okay, Tiny below. Blessed is a good pickup. Bot Duncan would be a good pickup. Kato, um, Trash Boat, all names that I remember and would be good pickups for them. And taking a look, it looks like they are. I'm gonna pick one of those familiarized names, and they're gonna go with Blessed to round out their roster.
Less Shade, if I recall correctly, is the name for that player. I don't remember what team they were on, but I do recognize the name. I do recognize the name there, Blush Shade. So they're going to Hypernova to round things out. Again, I don't know too much. I don't know if anyone else has
I
any
believe
experience or
Blessed was
recognize
on
him.
Warhawks last season, if I'm not mistaken. I think is where he came from. I think it was Warhawks.
Interesting.
Yeah, I
Well,
think I
he's
think you might be right about that, and I'm pretty sure he's a solid player. I don't have too much experience with him, but I know I've seen him play a couple times. I feel like maybe in some six mans, and I think he's got pop off potential if I'm remembering correctly. And I think that you're right, Austin. I think it's Bless Shade.
yeah.
Was his original name when he came into the league.
Sounds familiar. Is Faded now going to make their pick? They're selecting cracked underscore 0809. So an interesting interesting name there to round out their roster. They had a lot of room there, but he's the highest, pretty much the highest MMR remaining. Besides, he's actually right next to Larefo, who I gotta throw something out there. I did message Larefo because I was curious about potentially drafting him. He was a player in Nemesis before, but apparently he's broken his wrist. So his thumb is in a
Oh,
cast and he can't play for a month. So prayers
ouch.
up to him.
All I hear
Um,
is excuses.
excuses. That's true. That's true. Just play through the pain. But
Exactly.
but yeah. So unfortunate for him. But yeah, cracked going to Faded there. A nice little pickup there. And the Banshees are going to come through and select General Tweed with their pick, putting Origin on the clock. I was sweating, and now I am breathing a sigh of relief as my player did not get sniped. So
Oh, lucky you.
lucky me.
Lucky
Lucky
you.
me
Mine
for
got
sure.
sniped like 4 times tonight, Roger, man.
Hey, sometimes when you don't put together a too extensive a plan, you can't get sniped. So you just gotta roll with the punches. And I think this is gonna be perfect for me. So congratulations to General Twee, who's also a new person in the Discord. Congratulations to him on making a roster. And Origin, we're going a little bit down the list. We have a lot of MMR remaining to go 1460, but we're actually going to down to 1344 here, and we are selecting Bot Duncan, a player in Nemesis before. Saw him active in the chat, so he's coming over to Origin here hopefully help us make another championship run. So I'm happy to bring him onto the roster, and we'll see what my roster can do. We don't necessarily have the highest MR players, but I have heard a lot of good things about all these players. And you have Parallax, a defending or runner up from last season, returning. So I'm liking what my roster is looking like there. Glad to bring on Bot Duncan to the team. So
Yeah, I've seen about Duncan's name being thrown around here and there in some of the chats. Uh, never really talked to him or played with him, but seems like a good guy and all.
yeah, definitely. So I've heard good things about him, and he's played in Nemesis before, so he kind of knows the ins and outs, and he's active. That's always my big thing. I always look for active people, and Duncan been around supporting Nemesis. Good to bring him on, and now we get to see what Velocity is going to do for the final pick of the third round. And then actually, we only have two more picks remaining after this. I got so caught up. There's only two picks in the fourth round.
Oh
pretty much
wow.
all the rosters are pretty much
Pretty
all
sure
the
the
rosters are full.
Velocity only has the last 2 picks, this one and one more. Um, as every other
Uh,
team is full.
oh yeah, actually the Banshees, yeah, their pick won't happen there. So it's Velocity gets back to back. Yeah, actually that's a good point. All the other teams are full. That happened really quick, so we won't even really get into the fourth round. We just get back to back velocity picks there. So
It looks like Velocity with their first pick, they're gonna choose Kato. I think that's a great choice. You know, especially watching him in the playoffs last season in Novice, he had that insane last second goal. Um, and if you don't know what I'm talking about, definitely go find it. It's clipped somewhere. It's an amazing last second goal there by Cato. So I think that's a good pickup for them. Can complement Alpha pretty well. I'm just curious to see who they're going to take with their other pick here.
yeah, they got one more pick and they've got two roster spots, so I expect them to be picking someone up after. There are a lot of good names on this list here. Frankly Ginja, KS Aces, who's at the tryouts down there, lower MMR. Could be a great pickup. Trash Boat, Quack Boyo. Quack Body's been around in Nemesis for a long time. I pretty much recognize all these names. Bobbert, Sinshorst, OK Tiny, JPH, Ian, Alex RL. Lorifo has a cast, so rip Lorifo, but Trix and Deruster, there's some really solid people still sitting on the board there for Velocity select the final pick of the draft here, which is gonna be round number 4. So they just got one all the way down to pick 64 technically for their last pick of the draft. So we'll see. I'm curious. What do you guys think's gonna happen here? Crispy, got any ideas of who they might go for? They might try to select with their final pick.
I couldn't tell you, Rockerman.
No idea.
I'll,
Not even a guess for us.
uh, I'll go with whatever Psycho says. 'Cause I know Psycho's very smart man.
Hmm.
Crispy, not so smart.
I wouldn't
Uh,
go that far.
yeah. I wouldn't go
Yeah.
that far at all. Um,
Oh, oops.
I
I
was,
just
Nah.
realized what happened here. Oh,
the
I wasn't talking about you.
novice moment.
I just typed in the novice chat. Thanks for. You know what happens when the drafts are too close together? Just ignore that. That's what happens when you're trying to move between channels and cast at the same time. So
True.
there we go.
True.
Velocity now on the clock for real. Everyone, close your eyes. Close your eyes. You didn't see anything. See, I didn't put that concludes the draft. That's what happened there. That's what I was missing. Like the thus concludes the season 7 novice league draft. That's what was throwing me off there, guys. Obviously.
True. Obviously.
low.
Obviously.
Well, Velocity does come in with their second pick after Cato, and they're going to select JPH
There we
at
go.
1395.
It's a good pick. He was active for sure. I used to recognize the name. And that concludes the season 7 prospect league draft. I will make sure to put that in there so I don't go typing in it tomorrow.
There we go.
You got to be careful. But oh, there we go, guys. That was quite the draft. It was intense. A lot of people getting picked up. We were here for a while there, about 2.5 hours. Shout out to Squirrel for streaming all this. And I mean, what are you guys' takeaways? Let's go around the horn here quick. Let's start with you, Speed. What's your takeaway here from this draft so far? From both of them, I guess.
Don't
Novice and
snipe me
prospect.
tomorrow, okay? Rule 1: don't snipe me tomorrow. But no, overall, I think you know, a lot of teams are looking really, really good in both leagues. I didn't see too many of the other GMs and AGMs seeming like they got sniped. So it looks like teams got primarily who they were looking at for the most part. Besides Rockman, who didn't really look at players. He can't
I
get
had some
sniped if
ideas.
if you're playing under the radar, right? But no, teams are looking really good. I think this is lined up to be a really competitive season. And I thought last season was really competitive, but biggest Nemesis season yet. And I think we're heading towards, after these first 2 drafts, most competitive Nemesis season yet.
Yeah, for sure. Crispy, let me throw it to you. What's your biggest takeaway here, prospect and novice? What you got?
Got some cracked teams. And I'm
Yeah.
ready to see everybody play. And hopefully cast some of the matches too.
True. Yeah, there are some crack teams for sure. It's always good to get a little refresh. The beginning of the season's always a little bit exciting. So definitely got some crack teams. Should be some fun casting. Last but not least, Psycho. What do you got for your takeaway, either from prospect or from novice or from both overall?
I think it was a great draft for both. Novice, a little bit drawn out, like my back's hurting because holy moly, why did it take so long? But nah, it was. I was glad to see a good mixture of old school names and new faces coming in. Really, really looking forward to both the novice and the prospect league. I'm sure I'll get down there and cast a few of the novice matches, as I do enjoy watching the novice. 1, for the memes, but 2, also for scouting in the future season, seeing what players move up to prospect, up to challenger. It's a good place to scout. So I think it was a great draft. I really appreciate you having me here, Rockerman, and the rest of Nemesis. It was an honor.
Yeah, for sure. I'm glad to have you guys all here. It was definitely a fun draft, and I guess my takeaway is, yeah, there are a lot of players. This is looking like the most competitive season yet, and it might be like we said, it's the biggest season for Nemesis yet. The prize pool hasn't been announced, but I could give a little bit of a leak. I can give a little bit of a leak here. I can confirm it will be bigger than last season, which was 1,000. So the prize pool will be bigger than $1,000. So take that as you may. I can't say what it's going to be, but it's bigger than 1,000. So that's what we're going for. I can't say the number specifically yet. Still working on a couple of things, but it's a little leak for everyone to take away as we get excited for going forward. And I also have to say thank you to everyone that was watching. I mean, we had some insane viewers tonight. I think we peaked somewhere over 140. I didn't actually see the number, but
Yeah.
we were up there. I think it's a Nemesis record. So
Yes.
biggest season ever. We got the biggest viewer record. We're also pushing for partner this season, and this draft is going to go a long way. So I appreciate everyone hanging out. Hopefully we can keep our consistent 75 average viewers. That's the goal here to get Twitch partnered. So if you guys like the channel, make sure you guys follow. Make sure you guys tune in for the streams. See if we can push that Twitch partner here. The best time is the beginning of the season to carry over this average viewer count, and hopefully we can apply for partner and maybe get accepted. That's always the goal. And with all these great players, the new overlays, which you guys saw a little bit of here tonight, earlier, and which you guys will see during the season, they are looking good. So it's an exciting time here. A lot of work has gone on behind the scenes. Excited to get things back. We're back tomorrow, so if you guys are around, I know a lot of people got drafted tonight and you're excited about tonight's draft, but we have more drafts tomorrow. We got 3 more going down with Challenger, Rival, and Titan. Again, those will go a little bit quicker. That is starting at 6 p.m. Eastern tomorrow, so make sure you guys follow the channel. Make sure you guys are tuning in, hopping in for that one. It should be an exciting time, but yeah, that's going to wrap it up for us tonight. Thank you all for watching, and we'll talk to you guys tomorrow.